All right, so what to know for Season 3 in Dwarven Realms. The season is starting very soon. I haven't made a video because it kept changing during Chaos Week. Everything, like the balance of skills, the balance of everything. Many things changed. So this is going to be my video just before the season launch. We are like an hour and something ahead of the season launch. Things to know that changed for Season 3. You can now buy monograms at the Monogram throne. So these are going to cost 1 tablet, 1 imbued Dwarven rune to buy. You can buy all of them. They now have all of them listed very nicely here. And you can buy them for every 20 points of your highest stat. Get 1% damage bonus. Boom, you buy it, you have it. And then you can put it onto your gear. You can put it onto your yellow items. But you can also change what you have on an already enchanted item. You can change it, but it costs quite a bit. It costs 1,000 legendary glowing stones. So it's not cheap to do, but you will be able to, like, you know, put a monogram on an item and then change it if you so want it. So that's the first thing that they changed. I'm going to try to go very fast through the changes because I don't want to make this a super long video. But Scorch scales every time that you kill it. If you get to Scorch the Ash Weaver's Lair, which is basically the last boss of the game, which is a big dragon boss, which this boss drops crazy weapons. He drops weapons with triple mod of the same thing. So this is my offline file, so this is not something I have online. I didn't do the boss this many times, but yeah, it drops crazy weapons, the best in slot weapons for your build, and it scales +1 level every time. So you will have less odds of finding the weapon for your build. But maybe you'll have to adapt to whichever weapon that you drop at the time if you plan on playing for a very long time. But if you play it for a very long time, you should grab the weapon that you have. So, well, I mean, you should grab the weapon that is for your build. Like, you should be able to get it. So that's gonna be for Scorch. There's now a Transmog table as well here. You have this weapon illusion, which you can change the, you know, the transmog for your weapon. Anyways, that's it. You get 1 free respec every day. So this guy here will give you well, not the guy, I'm pretty sure it's here. It's not there in the offline version, but online I think it's gonna be here. You're gonna have 1 free respec every day. And yeah, it resets. I think it resets at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not quite sure about this time. 11 or 12, I think, or maybe 1 p.m. But 1 free respec every day. What this means is that you will be able to actually respec everything, your passive tree or your elven tree. If you want to go into the elven capital for digging deeper levels, you'll be able to respec before the reset and then respec again after the reset. So every 2 days, you'll be able to get like free digging deeper resets. Next thing that we have Offhand affinities. Offhands now have affinities. As you can see, my fire orb has projectile and orbit. Spinning blade has orbit blade. Different mods for offhands have different affinities. So this one has orbit, blade, and projectile. And these are going to be used in the new passive tree, which is, if you played PoE before, quite similar to PoE. But these have affinity nodes, which gives you either cooldown reduction or damage. The damage are a separate multiplier, and the cooldown reduction is also a separate cooldown recovery speed multiplier. So these are going to be must-have to grab on your passive tree. So that's what new with the affinities. Now let's talk about the passive tree. The passive tree, as I said, is quite similar to PoE. I mean, this is an example of one of my passive tree that I will probably do. So if you want to take a screenshot here, but like essentially there are a few must-have nodes, like the wisdom nodes. This one is not really a must-have. I'm not totally sure on like my final version of this tree. And then again, catacombs level 2 enables you to get 1 extra point every time that you do it. So you will be able, if you play enough, to eventually max out this tree. But I mean, I don't think anyone will get to the point where he maxes it all. Yeah, I mean, you can get a lot of points. You can probably get everything that you want. some of the must-have that you want here is going to be every single weapon skills are going to have an empowered version. So these have empowered version nodes on the tree, and this will result in you having an empowered version of your skill here. So for example, this is Rain of Flame. This is not Rain of Flame, Rain of Arrows on the bow. So usually it's like this, right? But if I spec into the appropriate node, let me just go quickly into it without spending too much time. Doubles the amount of arrows and increases radius by 50%. So with this, now we have way more arrows and way more radius, right? So every single skill in the game, Blade Kick, Exploding Seed, Cyclone Frenzy, all of them have different empowered versions. You can try them for yourself. Some of them are good, some of them don't do very much. But yeah, that's basically it. So that you're gonna want to have for sure, because right before it, there's also the 50%. There's 2 nodes for 50% extra damage, and that's a separate multiplier as well. So you get like double damage with your skills with this as well. Very, very, very good. You want to get enough energy regen to be able to spam your skills depending on your gear level, so that's another thing. You want to also have the extra armor per mastery level, and you want to have the extra damage per mastery level. So that's going to be for range and for melee. They've added range this time. They've also added range per mastery level on your helms. If you remember, in the past, there was only melee mastery level damage and armor. Now there's also range mastery level, range and damage and armor. So that's a nice little thing that they changed with this season. There are 2 nodes at the top and the bottom here for damage to distant enemies and damage to close by enemies. At the top and the bottom, it's 50%. The close by, you actually have to be like quite near the target, like actually probably like phasing range, like inside the target or really, really close for it to work. Those are also separate multipliers. I would just grab both to be sure that if you're far away, you get the 50% bonus, and if you're really close, you get the 50% bonus. So the next things are going to be all of your affinity things, right? If you just grab all of your affinity clusters for the cooldown and the damage for each affinity that you have, that's going to be must-have points. This is just another regen point, like I said. I really, really like the inventory slots, not because they give a lot of damage, but they do give a little bit with your pet, but it just gives you a lot of quality of life by having more inventory slots, being able to stay longer in ruptures, because you're going to be staying 10 minutes in ruptures. You will want to have a lot of inventory slots to not fill up completely and be like, you know, not picking up stuff anymore. For the rest, I think there's only one other important node here. It's the triple elemental cluster here, which gives you 2% for each per node here and then 10% here. I think that's a pretty important one. Oh wait, there's another one. Early on, you're gonna want to grab the potions at the left here, additional potion slots, because I believe the meta is gonna be still potions, especially early on. You want to grab your armor, your flat armor on your relic, and probably your percent armor on your boots to be able to scale your damage reduction from armor up to 80%. That's gonna be your biggest EHP boost early on. I think none of this is set in stone, but like the ones that I mentioned are like really important, and then there's like quite a few other ones that you could spec into. Look at the passive tree, look at what you want to do. You know, there's no perfect method of doing things. It quite depends on your gear, on your setup, on your build, it depends on a lot of things, but the ones that I mentioned I think are very, very important. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the passive tree. Now afterwards there's gonna be skill balance. They've adjusted skill balance quite a bit. If you wanted to play fire orbs again, then you're pretty much I mean, fire orb is pretty much dead. This is my new tier list. You will see that my tier list is quite significantly different than Malastin's tier list. If you remember Malastin, he's the one that did the spreadsheet for the offense, like scaling. I've done a lot of testing prior to this season, and my results are vastly different than his. I have tested I like in game with weapons, edited offline to test the different combinations and different mods and stuff like that. So I don't know if my save file was corrupted or he's using something else that his numbers are weird or my numbers are weird, but like I trust my testing and I think this is going to be it. Of course, there's been a patch. Well, there's been like info about the patch that's going to be released in a few hours. We don't have all the information, but this is going to be looking like the top skills. At least Wolves, Star Blades, Spinning Blades, and Death Blades, I think are your best bet. And then you have like Fire Beam, Zell Cores. Which one is this? Arcane Orb or Arcane Apocalypse? No, it's Arcane Orb. Rain of Flames. Rain of Flames has a memory leak tied to it. It has like really, really bad performance. So I would not recommend playing this. And it's also not that great damage. So I just don't recommend this, okay? But I mean, it's still there in terms of damage. And then Arcane Totems. Now, this might not be perfect, okay? This might not be perfect. I think my S tier is really, really good. I think I would recommend anyone that wants to play for the entire season to be at the top of the leaderboards to play one of these 4 skills. But if you want to play anything else, and if you only plan on playing, you know, this is an infinitely scaling game. You can play any skill. You can't play freaking, you know, Chain Lightning and do fine. The game is infinitely scaling, so it doesn't really matter what skill that you use if you don't plan on pushing the leaderboards for 2 months or 3 months, you know? So that's pretty much it for the tier list. And anything else that changed? Oh, they changed the stats. The stat bonus change. For example, stamina is now 10 stam for 0.1% max health instead of 1%. So it's 10 times worse. And wisdom is now, it's not 1%. It's going to get nerfed at 0.5%. It's going to be 10 wisdom for 0.5% boss damage. This makes wisdom, I think, the best stat still, but not by much. And it's only the best for probably the ones I want to push, like the, you know, the highest, possibly the highest, like Rupture 300 plus. I think you should just grab the weapon that you want to play, that you like to play, and you will do absolutely fine. The most comfy weapon, I think, is archery with Rain of Arrows. It's just like it's just really, really comfy to play. Magery has phasing, archery gets attack speed, and oh yeah, see that these nodes here at the end, they've all been changed. So you get armor, max health, stance damage, and stance crit damage for every 5 of each stat now. So that is pretty significant. So this makes luck not that great. I think you still want to, you know, stack the stats that you have there for the weapon. Eventually, maybe they will change luck to be, I don't know, like more balanced towards something. Maybe it's good early. Maybe I honestly, I don't know. I haven't ran the math. I've ran it like a few seasons ago. But anyways, let's not go into this. I recommend stacking. If you're going magery, you stack wisdom. If you're going archery, you stack dex and etc. Right? So go for the weapon that you want. I am personally gonna go magery. I'm gonna go magery, and depending on the cooldown of your skill, there might be a different skill. Like depending on the cooldown of your offhand, there might be a different stance skill to use to better proc that specific offense cooldown. Because now with the affinity cooldowns, right? So you all get you get up to 3 clusters of cooldown reduction, and that will reduce your cooldown significantly on your skill. So you want a skill that is like timed perfectly with your cooldowns to be able to get the most damage out of your offense. So that covers that. Now I will go a little bit into what I plan to do early on with my build. I think I'm gonna start leveling up, and then I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go here just to be able to show you guys exactly which one they are. I think the first thing that I'm gonna buy is probably gonna be getting 100 armor for each available potion, because this is gonna be on the relic, because you get access to like 12 extra potions on the tree here, additional potion slots. So you're gonna have 15 potions very, very early. That's gonna give you a huge boost of armor, and then alongside this armor thing here and the boots, which I'm probably gonna grab as well, 2.5% armor per potion slot. So you're gonna have flat armor, percent armor, and that's going to give you a huge boost in survivability to be able to push higher in ruptures. Then I'm probably going to go with, since I'm going Magery, Magery has access to phasing by default. So phasing is here. No, phasing is here, right? So phasing is going to give you flat damage and also boss damage. So that's going to give me a boost of flat damage, a boost of boss damage, and then I'm also going to get I'm also going to get Bloodlust. So I'm going to get Bloodlust for crit damage and movement speed. So I'm probably going to grab this on the helm because I already have phasing. So I'm going to grab Bloodlust, and I'm probably going to grab Bloodlust damage, 2.5% damage per Bloodlust stack on my amulet. And then I might go into energy regen. Crit chance for every energy regen point on the bracer, right? So I think, okay, I'm not totally sure, but like my plan so far is armor on the relic, armor on the boots, Bloodlust on the helm, damage per Bloodlust on the amulet, and then crit chance for every energy regen point on here. Things might change. I might change my plan, but so far that's what I have, and that's for the early game, right? And then rings, I'm probably gonna go 25% health while Bloodlust is active, but I'm gonna see how my health and my tankiness is going. I might go for a more damaging option, maybe boss damage, maybe something else. We'll see. So that is my plan for the season. I think I covered pretty much everything here. I hope you have a great start of the season, and I'm gonna have like build updates. Well, not build updates, but like daily updates as to where I am at what time and whatever. But I don't have much time to play on the first day because, you know, 3 hours from the start of this season, I'm gonna have to go grab my kids at school. And you know, I am a dad of 2 girls, so I'll try to play as much as I can, but we'll see. Keep in mind, this game is a marathon. If you want to compete, it's not a sprint. Even if you don't play for the first week, it doesn't even matter. You could still end up at rank 1 at the end of the season. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint, but it's nice to race all the time. So hope you enjoy the information about season 3 for Dwarven Realms. Join the Discord. Discord is very, very active. My Discord, the Dwarven Realm Discord, is super active as well. That's where most of the community hangs out. And yeah, much love for the Dwarven Realm bros, Craterman and LB Bos. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the